Welcome, one and all, to the first ever episode of Los Dangeles Trivia. I am your host, Dangeles, and today I'm going to be asking you guys 6 questions ranging in difficulty about the history of Los Dangeles. So, let's talk about the rules. After I ask the question, you guys can pause the video, look in the description, and find the straw poll link for each question. So it'll be question 1, question 2, etc., through all 6 questions. So all you have to do is wait for the question, pause the video, give your answer in the straw poll, and then start the video back up, and just rinse and repeat that process all the way through. So without further ado, let's get started with the first question. So our first question here on Los Dangeles Trivia is, what was the first completed build on Los Dangeles that still remains on the city today? So make sure you think about this question very carefully. The first completed build on Los Dangeles isn't necessarily still on the world. I'm talking about the first completed build that is still on the world today. So go ahead and pause the video, find the link in the description, give your answer, and then start back up. Alright guys, and now for the answer to the first question. If you guessed the Green Mansion, you were correct. So the Green Mansion was the first ever completed build on Los Angeles that still remains on the city today. There's been a lot of completed builds on this world's history that are still not on the world anymore. For example, the first ever house that we did, the traditional house, is no longer here. The Tudor style house, the original one, is no longer here. There's a bunch of other builds that I actually tore down that were actually completed before the Green Mansion. So the Green Mansion is the last remaining build from the very beginning of this world that I decided that I wanted to keep on the world for the long time coming. So that was the first question, guys. Let's get into question number 2. And now for the second question here on Los Dangeles Trivia. The question is, how many total apartments are inside of the Eclipse Tower? So I'm not talking about both buildings, since both buildings aren't finished. I'm simply talking about the first building that is completely done, that was featured in CLD 200. How many apartments are in that building? Go ahead and find the link in the description, give your answer, and then come right back. Alright guys, so the answer to question number 2, if you guessed 26 apartments, you were correct. That's right, there are 26 apartments in the Eclipse Tower, actually the same amount of apartments as there are floors, since we have 2 apartments per 2 floors. Instead of maybe 52 apartments, like 1 or 2 on each floor, we actually have 1 apartment per floor, judging by the floor plan of that particular building and how we laid it out. So if you guessed 26 apartments, you were absolutely correct. So now let's move on to question number 3. Now let's get into question number 3 of Los Dangeles Trivia. The question is, what was the first ever episode where I started building the Alpine Mansion on constructing Los Dangeles? So that means the first episode that I started building the Alpine Mansion. I worked on it on several different episodes, but I'm talking about the episode where I introduced it for the first time. So that is the question. You can pause the video, find the link in the description, and leave your answer, and then come right back, guys. Alright guys, now for the answer to question number 3. If you guessed episode 50, you were correct. So I started the Alpine Mansion on episode 50 of Constructing Los Dangeles, which was also the first episode that I started working on the city texture pack in this world. So that was another kind of way I could have asked that question to get the same answer. But I worked on the Alpine Mansion for several different episodes, but episode 50 was the first time I worked on it on the series, and it's been done for over a year now. So that was question number 3. Let's move on to the 4th question. Okay, everybody, now for the 4th question of Los Angeles Trivia. What was the original idea for the subway building in Los Angeles? It's the building right next to the Los Santos Customs and across the street from the plaza. What was the original idea of what I wanted that building to be? Obviously, it's a subway now. So what was my original plan for that building? Go ahead and leave your answer, pause the video, and then come right back for the correct answer. Alright guys, so the answer to question number 4 was museum. That's right, so if you guessed museum, you were absolutely correct. The subway building was originally supposed to be a museum based off of a building in GTA 5, but I decided that it wasn't simply enough space for a museum, so I turned it into a subway building, and I'm really happy with the way it is now. So that was question number 4. Let's move on to question number 5. Alright guys, so here is question number 5. The question is, what is the current score of the football game taking place in Los Dangeles Stadium? Obviously, since Minecraft stands still in time, the score has remained the same for quite a long time now. And let's see if you guys can remember the score of that game. So all you gotta do, pause the video, find question number 5's link in the description, give your vote, and then we'll go ahead and check the correct answer. So guys, if you guessed 21 to 10 for question number 5, you were absolutely correct. So I decided to make the score 21 to 10 in the Los Angeles Laggers Stadium because the Laggers are taking a commanding lead over the blue team, as we like to call them. They have an 11-point lead and are actually in the red zone looking to add some more points. So the score was 21 to 10. If you got that right, then you are golden. Let's go ahead and move on to the final question, question number 6. Okay guys, like I said, these questions are ranging in difficulty, so there is no easiest question or hardest question. I just chose some stuff that I thought would be interesting and something that wouldn't be super obvious right off the top of your head. You might have to go back and do some research on these videos to kind of find these answers. So the final question for today's episode of Los Angeles Trivia is, what was my weapon of choice in the CLD 200 skit of the Nether Bank heist? I repeat, what weapon did I use to infiltrate the heist at the Nether Bank in that particular skit on CLD 200? What was the weapon I was using in that particular video? So you guys can go ahead and pause it, find the link to question number 6 in the description, and then come right back for the correct answer. Okay guys, so the correct answer to the final question here on today's episode of Los Angeles Trivia was Diamond Axe. That's right. So we all had a bunch of different weapons assorted between the group of us. So I had a diamond axe, we had a diamond sword, which I believe Matt was wielding, we had an iron axe that Kyle was wielding, and then I believe Tyler had a diamond sword as well, but I'm not 100% sure. So I had a diamond axe. If you guessed diamond axe, you were absolutely correct. So now that we've gone through all 6 questions, you guys can leave a comment in the comment section below, truthfully telling how many questions you got correct. If you have to pause the video and go research it, that's totally okay. But I'm hoping that a lot of you guys will actually just try to answer these questions off of your knowledge of the history of the city. So that has been the first episode of Los Angeles Trivia. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys liked this video, be sure to give this video a like and leave a comment maybe saying that you want more of this kind of stuff. I thought this would be a fun kind of series to do, so if you guys want me to do more trivia questions on Los Angeles that you guys can answer in kind of the same format as this, or if you have any suggestions on how I can improve the format, that would be awesome. I had a lot of fun making this video, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So thank you guys very much for watching the first ever episode of Los Angeles Trivia. I am your host, Dan Lags, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.